find ourselves now as a country really breeding a generation of service members who are surviving wounds that years ago would have otherwise died in battle. So there's an entire generation of us returning from war with these injuries that America really hasn't seen, and it changes your life in an instant.
That was Marine Corporal Aaron Mankin, one of the patients at Operation Mend, a program out of the UCLA Medical Center that helps treat U.S. military personnel wounded during service in Iraq and Afghanistan, most of them hit by IEDs. Joining us now, two of the people getting it right with this program, Operation Mend's Executive Director and the Chief Surgeon, Dr. Timothy Miller, and the Executive Director and founder of Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, Paul Rieckhoff. Gentlemen, great to have you with us.
Good to be here.
Back with us as well, Wes Moore, a veteran himself. I should point out I'm a supporter of the group and a proud one, Dr. Miller. I think we talked about this last night. We had an event here at 30 Rock. Some great support came out. We wanted to get involved. We wanted to do something. And this just, it tugs at the heartstrings because these are the guys who come back and are so often forgotten when they got home. Why don't you just explain to the viewers what exactly you're doing at UCLA?
Operation Mend is a blend of private and military medicine, and we try to offer to these young men and women who have been very, very badly injured, essentially all of them, as you say, by IEDs, tremendous explosive devices that create very, very serious burns. We see many that don't have a nose, lips are partially destroyed, no ears, no hands. And what we do is reconstruct their faces, their hands, and in the process, I think we see them as a group becoming much better adjusted, much happier, more productive. And Operation Mend has expanded now with the help of the Department of Psychiatry and Neuroscience to take a look at traumatic brain syndrome, post-traumatic stress, suicide prevention, and now we're into hand transplantation. So we're doing the best we can. Yeah,
and these, as you say, are the toughest cases, burns over large portions of their bodies and their faces. We have a before and after. We just want to warn our audience, the picture's a little bit difficult to look at. If you have a kid, you might want to turn away. But it's important to show these because it's remarkable what Dr. Miller and the group at UCLA, I think we have Staff Sergeant Octavio Sanchez, right. We can just put it up briefly and show the before and after. And we saw Octavio last night, and he looks even better today. It's just remarkable what you've done.
Yeah. You know, Willie, I very really disagree with you on anything, but your admonition to maybe turn away and not look at these pictures, look at these pictures. Right. Look at these pictures. This is the cost of war. We talk a lot in this country. We take moments of silence at ball games. Look at these pictures. We have to figure out how we're going to pay for ensuing years, 10, 15, 20 years, for the care of the people who fight for us now. We don't do that in this country.
And that's an important point because every one of these guys, Dr. Miller was saying last night, costs about $500,000. And this is entirely money that he's out raising every day. And I just want to say, I think it's ridiculous that these guys even have to raise money. They have to raise $12 million right now. We talked about this last night, Billy, and you and your wife did a great job of bringing people together. But this is expensive in dollar terms, but it's immeasurable in the way these guys' lives are transformed. When I met Octavio a couple years ago, he said, I just want to go to a baseball game so my kids don't get teased. I want to be able to give them a hug. I want to be a dad. That's what he wanted, and that's what Dr. Miller in this program has given him. Totally, completely transformed their lives forever.
And you've given them hope. That's what I take away from this, hope. These guys came back and all they wanted to do was stay inside and not be embarrassed to go outside. And now that just the fact that they know this program is out there, Dr. Miller, and that there is a guy, you, who can change their lives, this has given them hope, hasn't it?
Well, and in several interactions with the military, it was down with the Marine Corps, and several people came up and said, you know, we're really glad that Operation Mend's around. It does give them a great deal of confidence.
Yeah, Wes, this is critically important. I mean, we've seen the number of patients increase year over year. We know there are guys who want to get into this program, and they need help getting in there because these are, as Paul said, expensive operations.
That's exactly right. And also, I'm going to point out the fact that you're a vet. I wanted to also ask, you know, how much has that influenced your passion behind this and the motivation behind putting this together?
Well, it's motivated me quite a bit. You know, I was in a war and I was shot at, but for me it was occasional. For them, it was every day, laying it on the line. And it means a lot. I think it means a lot in the sense that I hope they know I appreciate to some degree the sacrifice that they have made, and they have made tremendous sacrifices. And that's why we're trying to take a look at not only the changes in their physical appearance, but also assisting in their mental readjustment, was something I know that Paul's very, very interested in, and you guys have done a great job. And this is it is a community effort, and it is private medicine who's stepping up to the plate to combine with military medicine. The burn unit at Brooke Army Hospital, the best burn unit in the world, and it has been a combination, a cooperative effort that's had unbelievably good results.
You know, Paul, to your point about the need for money to finance these projects, there's a similar program at Mass General in Boston, the Wounded Warrior Project, and I was having dinner with one of the doctors who assists there, and he was talking about the cumulative impact of IEDs, in that you can be a quarter of a mile down the road. You'd trigger enough and blow up enough IEDs during the course of you know, with the scouts out in front. You're going to get a concussive effect no matter a quarter of a mile away. Right. You're going to get one, and you're going to have to deal with that down the road, years down the road. Again,
it's not a one-off. I mean, this is a lifelong process. These guys have fought battles overseas. They come home and they're fighting a battle for the rest of their life. Mass General, another example though, a lot of these programs are privately funded. Right. The Intrepid Center at BAMC in San Antonio, the Fishers raised that money, $50, $60 million privately, to put people's faces back together, to heal burns, to deal with amputees. So, you know, maybe this program should be kind of a call to action, not just Operation Men, but more broadly. We need to step up as a country and really support these issues. Traumatic brain injury, the severe burns. And Dr. Miller, this man is an American hero. He is. You know, guys like LeBron James, people are talking about guys like him this week. This is a guy your kid needs to be talking to. This is a guy your kid needs to know about, because he's an American hero, and he is totally changing their lives. Aaron Menken, when I met him, he couldn't even talk. Okay, he didn't have a nose. And Dr. Miller and his team totally changed his life forever.
And Dr. Miller now hoping to expand a little bit. You guys are doing great work in UCLA. Now want to move it to New York and to other major cities, because there's a lot of travel for these guys to come across the country and spend time away from their families.
The program at UCLA, though, is encompassing in the sense that we have, I think now, almost every base covered in terms of the ability to fly someone out. We don't keep them very long. Almost every operation they have is about a 5-day period of time in Los Angeles. They bring their family, we house them. We have buddy families that take care of them in the community and welcome them in the community. And then as soon as we can, as soon as the stitches are out, we send them back, so that their time away is as pleasant as possible, but that they're back home as soon as possible. And I might even add that in traumatic brain syndrome, which is a new entity in Vietnam, we didn't have those kind of weapons, thank God. But there is a new treatment that UCLA developed, in which there is an infusion on the battlefield which assists these young men and women to recover fast and withdraw them from combat, and the results have been very, very gratifying.
Well, I encourage anyone watching, if you've been moved in any way, to go to the website, operationmen.ucla.com. You can see some of the other work that Dr. Miller and his team has done. You can get involved if you're compelled to do so. Dr. Miller, Paul said it, you are an American hero, and just grateful to be associated with you, even in some small way. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for all you're doing, Will.
Paul, thank you very much, too. Keep up the good work. All right, we'll be right back.